You're listening to a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network. Some say we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
Yeah, baby. Love that new intro.
Oh, it's good.
Welcome to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts, and to my right is a man who was not named the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, Dustin Henry. Dustin, how you doing tonight?
I was not. I mean, I don't know why. I thought I beat out Spencer Radler for the job. I think that's who got the job. I gotta relook that up. But I thought I beat him out. But no, in all seriousness, I am ready to talk football, man. This is crazy. And hats off to you. You said you had some stuff up your sleeves for a new intro, new background. Feels like a new year. Hope springs eternal for all our teams for now. And I'm ready to get into it with you. How are you, sir?
I'm ready to get into it as well. I'm just excited that we got the new bumper for this year, this football season. I'm excited for football because football season, it's 5 more sleeps until Sunday kickoff, but it's 2 more sleeps until the season fully begins. So, we've had preseason. That was the appetizer. That was the amuse-bouche. College football was the appetizer. Got some quality football there this past weekend. But the main course is coming soon. And it's the NFL. I'm excited. But we're going to do our preseason preview tonight for the NFL. We're going to talk about all 8 divisions. We're going to talk about who we think will go to the playoffs and who's going to be in the Super Bowl in Santa Clara on February 8th, 2026. But before we do that, I just want to remind you to please follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. And also find our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and that includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, our YouTube channel, and on Podbean. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when we go live, so you know when the show clips go up, and so you know when there are general announcements from our community on YouTube and also from our Twitter channel. On the podcast side, rate and review, comment, 5-star rating will be very, very helpful. Leave a review where you can on outlets such as Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Podchaser, anywhere you can leave a review. We'll read it on the air. And also on Spotify, don't forget to comment. This will be available the next day on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. So if you tune in on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel, leave a comment. Who do you think will be in Santa Clara on February 8th, 2026? And also leave us your bold takes for this coming season, for us upcoming season. We appreciate it. And because we are a live show on Tuesdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, and on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, this will be heavy on the NFL this season. We want you to comment. We got some comments already in before we even went on the air. And I know, Dustin, even though it's NFL season's coming up, there's always a good time for this chime.
It is. It might be time for football. Are we ready for some football? Yes, but we're also ready always for chime time.
Always for chime time. as I mentioned, we were just a little bit late on the YouTube side and on Twitter and on Facebook. So I just advise people will start in a moment. Desi saying, okay. Wonko, wump, wow, wow. And he's saying the wrong. I said, no, so Wonko, this is not the wrong intro song. This is an upgraded intro song.
Yeah,
I decided to I make an executive decision to get a new intro song for the NFL season exclusively. I reached out to the artist Akira the Don on Twitter. I said, hey man, love your stuff, love your music. I listen to it all the time. I'd love to use a song for our podcast intro. And he said, absolutely, brother. Spread the music. Love it. So he was very happy that I was very happy they got back to us. We have permission. We have permission from him personally.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to get him on for like a 10 good minutes shot.
Yeah. Special shout out. That theme song. It's great. And I can't wait to hear it for many weeks to come. And Wonko, based off I realize it's our old theme song, but what I thought you were doing is a Mentos commercial from the 90s. That's what I thought it was.
Doesn't matter what comes.
You knew it.
In life.
You knew it.
With mental expression full of life. Daniel Cruz from the Time to BS podcast saying Dustin knows my predictions. I suspect that he did. I suspect that he did some sort of predictions on Seahawks sessions a couple nights ago.
We did only playoffs though. So we did not predict the championship games or Super Bowl. So didn't completely steal our thunder, Ryan.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you decided to save your predictions for tonight's show. I get it. I get it. Good for you. And Wonko says it works. The podcast and the intro music works. Yes. Again, Akira the Don, shout out to you. Appreciate it. I found out about his music when I watched Normal World last year when I started watching it not full time, but watching it over. And he was on Dave Landau's show. It's awesome. It's awesome. He's an awesome musician, and you should go check him out. Check out his music. And Mr. Cruz is giving us a little preview. He says, I had the Jets in the playoffs in honor of you, Ryan. Well, thank you for your optimism. I appreciate it. All right. So here's the format for those of you who are not familiar with how we format our preview on No Credentials Required for the NFL preview. What we do is that we take 5 minutes for each division, and we talk about who we think will be the division winner, what kind of things we expect to happen in that division. So it's 5 minutes for each division. We're going to go through the AFC first, go through all 4 divisions. We'll take a quick commercial break, give an ad break. Then we'll go through the NFC, all 4 of those divisions. We'll give our division winners, who will be in the wild card, who will be in the championship games, the conference championship games, respectively. We'll let you know who will be in the Super Bowl, and we'll let you know who our Super Bowl winners are going to be. So, Tyner?
All right.
Let's start with the AFC East. And then Dustin, I'm going to have you start with the AFC East. Let's talk about the AFC East a little bit. Get your opinion on things.
All right. Well, so the AFC East, I think the Bills have taken a step back in some positions, and their defense in some areas is still a question mark for me. But when you have Josh Allen and James Cook, it's enough to win this division, in my opinion. They have a couple question marks at receiver. I just saw today, I think Gabe Davis is re-signing with them, so that's some familiarity with the system. And Josh Allen, I think the Bills are still the class of this division. Coming in at number 2 for the division are your New York Jets, Ryan. I like the direction that Aaron Glenn is moving with this team. Fields at QB is a major question mark. I was optimistic about him, but watching some of the preseason, the talent with his legs is undeniable. But some of the throws, he missed the throws badly that I saw, and it kind of shook me. But I still think the Jets have enough talent at skill positions. I think Breece Hall and Braylon Allen make a better running back duo than some of the other teams in this division. And the Jets defense is still for real. Sauce rebounds, I think. So they get a slight edge over New England in this division. Coming in at number 3, I have Mike Vrabel. He will have this team contending in the future. And if Stephon Diggs can rebound from his injury and be anywhere close to what he was, he gives Drake May a proven weapon. The Pats' rushing attack should be decent. The rookie's been showing out in preseason. We'll have to see what he does. Ramondre Stevenson was good last year, but I think his role diminishes. How New England does depends on whether Drake May takes the leap. And coming in last in the AFC is Miami. I can't figure out what the team is trying to do. I don't understand a team with so much talent at receiver and running back and seems so directionless. Their defense, I don't know what they're trying to do on their defense. They lost some key pieces. Their defense doesn't scare me. And everyone in the NFL, fans and everywhere around that watches football, everyone is holding their breath every time Tua drops back.
All right. Very astute observation. Yeah, it's right now it's AFC East. It's not so much who's going to come in first, but who's going to finish in second place. Because Buffalo is the class of the division. They have been for at least 6 seasons. I don't know what kind of arc they're in right now in terms of the Bills compared to the mid teams of the early 90s, and going into the mid 90s. Are they in their mid 90s arc? As a urinating tree, shout out to you, had said on his AFC, the Haters Guide to the AFC East, or the AFC, excuse me. But Josh Allen is going to have another MVP season. They have some concerns at position depth, as evidenced by Dwayne Carter's season-ending Achilles tendon injury. Maxwell Harrison's out for the first 4 games of 2025. I have them in first place. In second place, I have New England. It's let's face it, it's the NFL boys club. The New England Patriots are the NFL boys club. Because think about it this way: Belichick, followed by Gerard Mayo, a former player, followed by Mike Vrabel. And I'm still pissed at Robert Kraft. I'm still pissed at Robert Kraft for doing that to Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, he had no shot.
Dirty pool. But I hire Mike Vrabel. I'm coming home. Hate that music, but anyway, bringing in Mike Vrabel to be their head coach after some successful years in Tennessee, kind of waned off towards the end. But they went shopping, and you didn't see this in the Belichick era. They went shopping in free agency. They bring in Milton Williams on the defensive line. They bring in Carlton Davis at linebacker. They bring in Stephon Diggs to be the primary receiver, although we don't know what he's going to be like after that ACL tear he had in Houston last season. So, but I still have them pegged for second place by very close margin to my New York Jets. We talked about this on Victory Monday last week. Go watch it in the archives on the No Credentials Required YouTube side. But Aaron Glenn hopes to change the culture at One Jets Drive. He's building a disciplined, physical team. They're building for the future with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. That's the hope we see there. And then finally, Miami. Is this the last go-around for Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa? Lots and lots of questions for the Dolphins entering another possible rebuild. O-line is thin. Secondary is thinner. And could we possibly see Tyreek Hill on the trade block during the trade deadline? Because he was not named as captain for this Miami Dolphins franchise, for this Miami Dolphins team. So that's my order. That's the look. My look. I'll look for the AFC East. Let's move on. Let's get 5 more minutes in the timer for the AFC North. And I've got Baltimore winning this division. They are currently the class of the division. They're loaded on both sides of the ball. They bring in DeAndre Hopkins at wide receiver to add some veteran depth there. They bring in Jair Alexander after he was weirdly released by the Green Bay Packers because of his attitude problems, but they decided they had enough of him, and they're going to move out to they're going to bring in. So Baltimore decided to bring in Jair Alexander. This is an already loaded lineup, but I have questions in regards to, is this the year that John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson finally go on that extended run to a Super Bowl berth? Because we've seen them flirt with that Super Bowl berth in the last couple of seasons. The AFC in the playoffs couldn't get past Kansas City a couple of years ago. Couldn't get past Buffalo last year because the offense Harbaugh put too much on Lamar Jackson's shoulders. Should have just kept the running game with Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Should have kept it on him, but unfortunately put too much on Lamar Jackson. And again, another division where it's going to see who finishes in second place. And for me, it's Cincinnati. They signed T. Higgins, signed Jamar Chase, both to long-term deals. They kept Joe Burrow happy. They give Trey Hendrickson a raise. But I have a feeling they're going to win a lot of 35 to 34 games this season because their defense after Trey Hendrickson is thin. And they let a lot of guys walk after those big contracts they awarded to Higgins and Chase. Third place at the Steelers. Defense is always elite. Offense is a question mark. Suspect running game, an aging Aaron Rodgers, and also Cam Hayward's hold-in is going to be a huge distraction if it goes long term. We may not even see him on Sunday against the Jets. He's already said, I might not play you. Are we going to see you on Sunday? We'll see. And then finally, in last place, the Cleveland Browns. What is there to say about the NFL's Pittsburgh Pirates that has not already been said? This might be Kevin Stefanski's swan song in Cleveland. I think he's going to be the first coach fired in the NFL this season.
Ooh.
And hope the heavy paycheck is worth it, Myles Garrett. You held the Browns hostage for a short time, so you want to be traded, and they said, here, have some money. And he said, okay, I'll stay here. So that's my outlook for the AFC North. Over to you, Dustin.
Well, I don't think there's going to be too many changes from our standings here, the way we see this division. The Ravens are loaded on both sides of the ball, as you said. But to me, I just put the Ravens are the class of the division. Lamar gives you a chance to win any game. Plus, you've got another year of Derrick Henry and Lamar together to kind of figure this out. I think Derrick Henry still has plenty left in the tank. They have possibly the best tight end duo in the league in Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. They're likely to get into the end zone a lot. I see what I did there. I'll see myself out. But does Baltimore have a proven number one wideout? I think that's what they brought DeAndre Hopkins in to kind of be and shows Zay Flowers the ropes. But neither of them has to be the primary target because the primary target is one of the tight ends when they get in close, and also they have Derrick Henry and Lamar to pound the rock. I think their defense is still good. They win this division. Cincinnati, I have Cincinnati. We may hear about them later. But they finished number 2 because their defense will be bad, but they will do plenty offensively to be a wild card team in the AFC. Chase Brown will break out too. I really like him at running back this year. I think he's going to do well. The same cannot be said for Pittsburgh. The only reason I have them in third is because the Browns are also in this division. This will not go well. I do not believe in the combination of Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. Something's going to go sideways there. Can Jaylen Warren carry the load by himself? We'll see. Najee Harris was the scapegoat for a lot of Steeler fans regarding the running game. We'll see how it is without him. This is the year the Tomlin streak ends. Their defense has always been a proud unit. It's always been a good unit, but you mentioned Cam Hayward is a problem, and I just think the whole team, for a team that's going all in, I think the Steelers regress this year big time. Number 4, last in this division, is the Cleveland Browns. How long until they turn the keys to the offense over to Shedeur or Gabriel? Who knows? Amari Cooper is no longer with the team. That is a bigger loss than people realize. They still have some studs on D, including the very highly paid Myles Garrett, but it is not enough. It's another long season in Cleveland. Sorry, Browns fans.
At least your beer prices are cheap, as we discussed on Saturday's show. Because you're gonna need a lot of drinks to get through this season. All right, Dustin, AFC South, what you got?
All right, AFC South. We're going to scroll down the list here. This is another division where I think it's pretty easy to map things out. Houston wins this division. Houston could take a step back this year and still win this division. This division has a shot at being the worst division in football. I have questions about Houston, but the rest of the division will be so bad. They could wrap this division up by Thanksgiving or early December. I would love to see Nick Chubb do well because Joe Mixon is going to miss at least the first 4 games, but I think once he gets back, he's going to give Houston a stabilized rushing attack. CJ Stroud, I think he rebounds a little bit from last year. This defense, D'Amico Ryans is still going to have them going. They still have Stingley. Anytime you got a playmaker like Stingley, you got a chance on defense. You have other defensive pieces. And who knows how Tank Dell recovers and everything. It'll be nice to see him back on the field. Houston wins this division easy. Jacksonville, I have them at number 2. I do not know what to make of this team. For the last few years, we've talked about Jacksonville being mercurial. How will Trevor look? A lot of those same questions still remain. Will Travis Etienne even still be with the team? We don't know. There could be a change at running back. Luke Cohen, first-year head coach. What kind of impact will he have on this offense? In most other divisions, I think they could finish last, but what has them in second is they are in the AFC South. Third, I have Indianapolis. James Taylor's, it will be enough to keep them in some games, but it's not going to be enough. Will Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman thrive with Daniel Jones at QB? I don't think so. With the exception of 1 year, we've seen this show before. And their defense, they didn't stop anybody last year. I don't think they will this year. Number 4, Tennessee. Cam Ward will show flashes of brilliance, but it'll be some bumps in the road with a rookie at quarterback. Will that offensive line be able to protect him? Tony Pollard will have another solid season at running back, I believe. And Calvin Ridley is there along with one of our longtime Seahawk favorites, Tyler Lockett. They'll bring some stability to the wideout position and some veteran leadership, but it won't be enough. Long season in Tennessee.
All right. AFC South. Houston, the Texans are the clubhouse leader of possibly the worst division in the NFL. Defense will be very good. I'm just curious to see if the O-line will keep CJ Stroud upright. I also want to see if Nick Chubb can hit the rejuvenation machine in Houston to revive his career. He's going to get a lot of, like you mentioned, Dustin, he's going to get a lot of carries early because Joe Mixon's out for the first 4 weeks. And I just want to see how he fits in this offensive scheme. They still got some talent. CJ Stroud's got a big arm. We know what he's all about. But Houston's going to be, like D'Amico Ryans has got this defense rolling. I have Indianapolis in second place. Enter the Indiana Jones era because the Anthony Richardson era is dead.
Oh, man.
They're going to need a strong start to contend since the back end of their schedule is super tough. The Colts have some talent on offense. As you mentioned, Jonathan Taylor is going to get the majority of the load on carries. You mentioned Alec Pierce. You mentioned you also mentioned Michael Pittman. That defense, I got a lot of questions about that defense.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, new head coach Liam Cohen. Where is it?
Oh,
where is it? Where is it? There it is. I'm playing it.
Duval.
Oh,
there he is.
So bad.
He's looking to fix Trevor Lawrence. Again, Trevor Lawrence is the band leader of that star-crossed 2021 NFL draft class of quarterbacks we all know and who are quite infamous, which is unfortunate. They got a lot of talent on the wide receiver on offense. Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr. Travis Hunter is going to be one of my guys to watch for Rookie of the Year. But on defense, I've got a lot of issues with them on defense after that front four. The front four is going to get after the quarterback. What about the rest of the unit? Secondary, linebackers, I've got some big question marks. Then finally, Tennessee, Cam Ward's the future. Cam Ward, the quarterback, not Cam Ward, the Carolina Hurricanes goaltender. Sorry, Dustin. The rest of this team is not so great. And I have to wonder, is Brian Callahan the coach of this team going forward? I mean, the offense is going to be fun to watch, but that defense, oh boy, that's going to be rough. All right. So that's the AFC South. AFC West, and this is where I'm going to get my prediction. This is where I talk about the bold takes on this prediction show, on this preview show. I have the Los Angeles Chargers winning this division.
Wow, there we go.
Yes, Jim Harbaugh, he has been the difference maker on this team after a surprise 2024, but I have to wonder if the loss of Rashawn Slater, is it going to loom large? I mean, the defensively, they're going to be very talented. They're talented defensively. I'm just curious to see how their offensive line is going to adjust with Rashawn Slater's absence, because that's huge. That's huge. It's your blind side for Justin Herbert. But they still have enough talent on offense. I think Omarion Hampton will be Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
I mean, we talk about Travis Hunter, but I just have a feeling he's going to be the primary back by week 4 on this squad, and you're going to see him get a lot of carries, get a lot of yards, and also catch some balls out of the backfield, which means I have the Kansas City Chiefs in second place. The Chiefs are embracing that New England Patriots arc where everybody outside of Kansas City hates them with a white hot burning passion. They are far from done with their dominance, especially what could be Travis Kelce's swan song. I think the offense is talented, but I think the defense will have to carry this team at times in 2025 because they have a tough schedule. Denver, I had them finishing third, not by a long ways. It's year 2 of the Sean Payton era. The defense is elite, but Bo Nix needs to avoid that dreaded sophomore slump that we all expect. I say expect, but we all sometimes see from rookie quarterbacks who have a great season. I think a suspect run game might be the biggest reason why Bo Nix has some struggles this year. And then 4th place, Las Vegas Raiders. I'm so sorry to say that you're going to be last place again. The Raiders are who the Raiders are, and even with Pete Carroll as your head coach, but at least Ashton Jeanty will be fun to watch. And hey, Max Crosby, he decided to stick around for a couple more years. So there's that. So that's my outlook. Dustin, AFC West for you.
All right. Well, my prediction is not quite as bold as yours in the AFC West. However, again, we see this. This is what happens when we podcast and talk a lot, Ryan. We see things somewhat similarly, but my difference is now my hottest take about this division is that this division could be one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So Kansas City, indeed. I have Kansas City finishing first. Mahomes is still Mahomes. They will have Rice to start the season, which is surprising a lot of people. I think Isaiah Pacheco will prove to people how good he is. I think he's going to remind people, he's talented when he's healthy. Also, Andy Reid at this point, he's proven he knows how to win games. He will figure out a way to do it. He will figure out a way to scheme this offense into new innovations. Travis will score TDs at the goal line. That's what he is at this point in his career. Patrick's still going to look for him. They still have chemistry, and as much as you hate him, Mahomes can still make plays that make your jaw drop. So I think it's enough where Kansas City wins this division. However, their road in this division will not be as easy because I have Denver. Bo Nix leaps. That's what I have. I think he's going to leap. I think he's going to take the next step. Their defense carries them when or if the offense slides. Similar to what you said in Kansas City, their defense is going to have to carry them. I think Denver's defense is good enough to do the same for them. Cortland Sutton will be the number 1 option, and he will develop more chemistry with Bo Nix. And I also think that J.K. Dobbins, who proved it in San Diego that he's still dynamic when healthy, that's the big thing, when healthy. But if healthy, J.K. Dobbins gives them a great option at running back. Number 3, I have the LA Chargers finishing third in this division, but just under Denver. So Justin Herbert will still be good. Will the Keenan Allen reunion provide a second option at receiver behind Ladd? Who knows? How will Najee do when he returns? Omarion Hampton, you talked about him. He's got a lot of talent. I think he's going to surprise people, but I also think Najee's looking to prove something, and I think he'll rebound a little bit when he returns. Harbaugh is going to have that dual rushing attack. I think it's going to work out. Harbaugh is going to continue to build that team and defense in his image. He is tough. He is hard-nosed. They will be too. And number 4, I think Las Vegas is going to surprise some people. They will still be last in this division, but the team will be more competitive under Pete Carroll, especially if all the Raiders buy into his system and start to rally around each other. They will be more competitive. Geno will elevate their QB play to a level that they haven't seen in years. Amari Cooper reunites with the Raiders. Does he still have something left? Ashton Jeanty will be fun to watch. And longtime Pete Carroll coveted player Jamal Adams is now playing at linebacker. I saw him at some points in the preseason. He looked good after the position shift. And Max Crosby's there. He's a game wrecker. The Raiders are going to be competitive.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, the Raiders will be competitive, but I still think they'll lose. They'll be in last place.
They're going to be in last, but I think that division is going to be a dogfight, that division.
Yeah, that's why I had the Chargers in first, but not by much over Kansas City and Denver. That's my feeling about it. Because all the other divisions are kind of, I wouldn't say that they're, you know who's going to win those divisions. We know who's going to win those divisions. Just battle for second place, but that AFC West is going to be fun.
Yeah,
so much fun to watch. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll also go to your comments before we go on to the NFC. But before we do that, we just want to remind you about. Nope, that's not it. We want to remind you about one of our affiliate sponsors here at No Credentials Required. That is Fanatics. Being a fan isn't just about game day; it's about every day. At Fanatics, we've got the gear to rep your team and the memorabilia to make it unforgettable. Jerseys to limited edition collectibles, from the stands to your shelf, it's all here. Fan gear, fan moments, Fanatics for the fans. Our affiliate link is in the description below. You can use it to order all your fan gear, your memorabilia. Use our affiliate link. It helps our show. Order your gear, whether it's NFL, NCAA college football, NHL, NBA. They're starting soon. MLB, gear up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Got other sports as well, like Major League Soccer, WNBA. Anything you need, any kind of fan gear you need and you want, please use our link in the description. It's our affiliate link. Helps the show, and it lets Fanatics know that, hey, you're listening to the show and you're buying their gear from us. So Fanatics, affiliate link in the description on the YouTube side, Facebook side, and on our podcast side. All right, we're going to move on to the NFC East. The NFC now. We'll start in the NFC East. I'll start in the NFC East because I want you to wrap up with the NFC West because that's where your Seattle Seahawks are.
All right.
So we're going to start with the NFC East. Get that timer up. Then Philadelphia Eagles, I have them in the first place. They're looking to start a dynasty and amid all the personnel losses. I mentioned Milton Williams on the defensive line. He's a big loss. Josh Sweat, he goes to Arizona. Numerous position losses, but they extend Saquon Barkley. They awarded him with a huge contract extension in the offseason. They also awarded Zach Bond, their excellent linebacker, who for some reason the New Orleans Saints cast away, and he was damn near close to becoming an MVP of the MVP of the Super Bowl. I forgot I had your comments lined up, folks. I'll get to them after we do our NFC East preview. So yeah, the Eagles, they're starting to build a dynasty. I think they're still the team to beat in the NFC. In second place, I've got Washington. Last season surprise, had the Commanders loading up for a potential run in the offseason. They bring in Deebo Samuel. They bring in Von Miller, some veteran experience to help out Jaden Daniels, who is looking to avoid the sophomore slump himself. I think he's going to continue his upward trend because this offense is really, he's good in this offense, and this defense is going to help him a lot with Dan Quinn scheming for them. This is the battle for third place in this NFC East division. I think the New York Giants are going to be in third place at the end of the season. Defense is going to be elite, especially the front seven and at edge. You got Kayvon Thibodeau on one side, Abdul Carter on the other side. Giants offense, a lot of question marks, including at running back. I like Cam Scatterbo, but he's no Saquon Barkley.
No.
But I also have to wonder if we're going to see Jackson Dart play quarterback sooner than later because they jumped up back into the first round to grab him because they liked what he saw, and we'll see what happens from there. It could go either way for the Giants. Could be great. It could suck. And in last place, I've got the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to score a lot of points with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson. But after this trade for Micah Parsons, they're also going to allow a lot of points. They're also going to lose a lot of games. That's my outlook for the NFC East. Dustin, what's yours?
Ryan, I did not hire you I don't like those takes. I like these guys in Dallas. I hire them. They say good things about me. All right. So NFC East. Philly is still the class of this division and possibly, indefinitely the NFC and possibly the entire NFL. Saquon, a lot of people are like, Saquon cannot replicate what he did last year. I agree, but guess what? Regression from Saquon's season last year, still going to be very, very good, okay? And then even if he does regress, they have too many weapons everywhere on both sides of the ball. Even with some of their key departures, the Eagles are at the stage now where they just retool. They keep this machine going. And Jalen Hurts is still good, everybody. Sorry, I had to do it. He gets too much hate. Number 2, I have Washington. I think Jaden Daniels, he's going to, like you said, he's going to continue his upward trajectory. I really think he is a star in the NFL. I think he's really going to keep just making that leap. I know that makes D. Willie, friend of the show, Drew Willingham, very happy. They will not shock people like they did last year, but they will nip at Philly all season. They re-signed McLaurin. They had to do it. We don't know what the running game is going to be like because of the surprising trade of Brian Robinson Jr. Previously, they're starting back, but they also added Ayuk at wide receiver. And I think that their defense will continue to improve under Dan Quinn. He knows how to build a defense. Doesn't always know how to hold leads with those defenses, but he knows how to build one. This is where we differ a little bit, Ryan. I have Dallas at number 3 in this division. The only reason I put them here is I believe Dak is still a better QB than any of the Giants' options at this stage in their careers. CD will be their offense as it was last year. He was their entire offense, and it still won them some games, but maybe George Pickens helps if he can keep his head on. We still don't know who the Cowboys have at running back, and their defense took a massive step back, letting Micah Parsons go, but I still think you line them up next to each other. I give Dallas's offense the edge. The Giants will look better. They are one of the hardest teams to predict, in my opinion, when doing things like this. They have a great pass rush, and I like the perspective combo of Cam Scatabo and Tyrone Tracy, although you said it's not Saquon, nor will they ever be, but they could do something at running back. Malik is going to be elite. I think he continues to ascend, but their O-line will not be able to protect Russell Wilson, Jameis, or Jackson Dart. I don't care who it is when we see them. They will not be protected. The Giants' pass rush got through that offensive line in record time. In a clip I saw from the preseason, Russ was in the second step of his 3-step drop, and there were already 3 Giants rushers in the backfield. So that's going to be tough.
Well, also, I mean, the fact that the fun part is the fact that he's not facing them.
No.
All right, we're gonna go to the NFC North in just a moment. But before we do that, we just want to go to the comment section. I mentioned that before we took a quick commercial break, and I failed to do so because I wanted to get through all the predictions. Welcome to saying Miami is a party franchise. Don't send your kids there. Kevin Wilson asking if we're going to see Jerry Jones tonight. Yep, we just did.
I did that for you, Kev.
He also says the Bengals are making the playoffs. Interesting. Mr. Cruz saying that Pete Carroll system hasn't changed since 2015. He really doesn't like Pete Carroll, does he?
I mean, you're right, Dan. You're right. But when it works early in Carroll's tenure, it works because the players buy in, and he brought in some guys that clearly buy in. So,
I mean, he's got more energy than you, me, Dan Cruz, and Kevin Wilson combined.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And I'll never forget Marshawn talked about his first week in Seattle after that Buffalo Bills trade. And he goes, at first I thought Pete was on something. He goes, it took me about 2 weeks to realize, oh, this is just how he is.
Wonko saying favorite take so far, Dustin's Chase Brown optimism and Ryan's Chargers call. Fingers crossed. Hey, yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here for bold takes. We got bold takes, baby. Julie from Michigan asking, did I miss Lions talk? No, we're just about to talk about them. And Kevin Dan saying, breaking news, Dak Prescott just got a 7-year, $70 million per year deal. Lord. And then he says, it's just a joke, Ryan. In the words of Dark Side Phil, banned, gone forever. That rabbit hole, man, I swear. Kevin asking, what do you think of Jameis Winston at number 3? I think it's the right call.
Yeah. If they like Jackson Dart as much as it seems like they do, I think it is the right call. I mean, Jameis, maybe he can go start in New Orleans, depending on what happens. I mean, you never know.
You can go back. I mean, New Orleans needs a quarterback other than Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, yeah.
And my confirmation bias was correct. No, Dan Cruz saying, no, I don't. He's been the punching bag of the Department of BS for nearly 10 years. All right, we're going to move on to the NFC North. And Dustin, 5 minutes are on the clock. Let's go.
All right, the NFC North. So I have Detroit finishing number 1 in this division. It's going to be a dogfight, but I think Detroit still gets there. Despite their losses, I still believe they are the class of this division. Jared Goff has proven it for multiple seasons now, okay? I don't want to hear the Jared Goff haters coming out. He was one of the most accurate QBs in the entire NFL last year. He was great for the second year in a row. He's proven it. Dan Campbell understands him. He understands Dan Campbell. Their wide receiver corps is good. Their running back situation is good. And if Aiden stays healthy, he can change a game. I think Detroit, they lost their OC and their DC, but I think they still can hang on to it. I think Jameson Williams, this is the year that he really finally puts it together and becomes that steady number 2 and possibly 1A, in some games. Number 2, I have Green Bay. Don't worry, Packers fans. The defense is obviously massively improved with the additions of Parsons, and they were already good last year. Josh Jacobs is great, but will he be able to continue his great run in Green Bay? This is the year that Jordan Love has to prove it. This is on Jordan Love now. You can't say he doesn't have any receivers because the Packers finally drafted a wide receiver for him that a lot of people like, and they used a first-round pick to do it. Jordan Love, you've got to cut down on the interceptions. You've been brilliant at times, but you throw too many interceptions. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Minnesota is at number 3 in this division. J.J. McCarthy is a complete unknown, but you still have Justin Jefferson, and Aaron Jones will be a solid head of an running back by committee. T.J. Hawkinson will also bail McCarthy out in some tough situations down by the goal line. What really hurts Minnesota for me is their defense, to me, is a massive question mark. Number 4, Chicago. Sorry, Caleb will do better under Ben Johnson, and they've made some upgrades to the offensive line to try to protect Caleb Williams a little better. But is it going to be enough? I mean, they added Joe Thuney, but last year Caleb was sacked a ton. Will Rome Odunze become a true number 2 wide receiver behind DJ Moore? Who knows? I think the Bears will improve, but they're still last in this division for me.
All right. Like I said, this is bold takes.
Yeah.
Bold takes. Predictions.
You've been a little bolder than I
got Green Bay win the North.
Oh,
Julie from Michigan's going to hate me, but I got Green Bay win the North based on the fact that Micah Parsons is going to be a big difference maker in this defense. Even though I think I said they were 9th in sacks last season. With him in the lineup, that total's going to go up. That total is going up. But even with a solid defense, is Jordan Love going to step it up to be an elite quarterback after December? And I also wonder about their offensive line. It's thin. It's a very thin offensive line. They had a lot of injuries last year. David Bakari is gone. Surprised he didn't wind up in Pittsburgh with his boy Aaron Rodgers. But I think comparing the schedule between them and Detroit, I had them finishing second, a very close second. They lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn in the offseason. I think they slip a little bit, but not by much. I think Dan Campbell, his leadership, biting the kneecaps. I think he's looking to help make up for that really disappointing finish of last season. But here's the thing with Detroit. They're the front end of that schedule in front of that. And so for the first 10 games of the year, they're playing against 7 playoff teams in their first 10 weeks in 2024 or 2025. That is going to be a rough beginning. Although I think they'll do well. It's going to be very tough for the first. They got to do really well in that 10 game stretch at the beginning of the year. Now, the one thing that they have an advantage over the Packers have a bye week in week 5. They have a very early bye week. And Detroit, looking at their schedule, they have a bye week in week 8. So they could be healthier. But moving quickly on to the Minnesota Vikings, they're a solid team. JJ McCarthy, no relation. He'll have some growing pains at rookie after Justin Jefferson. They don't have a wide receiver too. Jordan Addison suspended for the first 4 games of the year. Yeah. Rondell Moore's out for the season. Their defense suspect, very very suspect. In Chicago, Bears are just like the Raiders, the Bears and the Browns. They are who they are. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And my big question mark is, will Caleb Williams become the first ever 4,000-yard season passer thanks to the addition of offensive guru Ben Johnson as their head coach? No, they have never had a quarterback finish with over 4,000 yards in a season. Could happen this year. But they got to find a steady number 2 after DJ Moore, who's not even a solid number 1 in my mind. All right, we're moving on to the NFC South. I'll start off. Tampa Bay, they'll be the class of the division. It'll be kind of a tough start with Tristan Wirfs being out for the first couple weeks of the season after knee surgery. But they'll also need to overcome a tough schedule to remain on top. I have some questions about their depth at defense. Is Hassan Reddick? Yes, that guy. Is he enough at edge for the Buccaneers to put together a better pass rush? Although you could argue Todd Bowles knows how to scheme a defense, even with some question marks at depth. Carolina is my dark horse team to challenge for the division.
Ooh. Bryce
Young put together late in 2024 after he got benched early in the season. That seemed to help him. And he'll be helped by a better defense and new receivers and Tetreault and McMillan and Hunter Renfrow. He was back on the team. He signed a contract over the weekend. And he'll also be aided by a solid run game featuring Canada's own Chuba Hubbard. Had a solid season last year. Atlanta, although the Falcons and Stacey Morgan from the Morgan Man podcast, shout out to him. He's our Falcons guy at Belly Up Sports. Man, they improved defensively. They bring in Jalen Walker and they bring in James Pierce to bolster that pass rush. But the season's going to lie on the shoulders of Michael Penix Jr. And this group has offensively, underperformed since they all came together. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. You see his name so much. Is going to have a breakout season. Can this group finally put it together after so much disappointment since they all came together? And then finally, last place, I've got New Orleans. Currently, the best quarterback is head coach Kellen Moore. Not much to say about this team, other than that they may finish the bottom of the league in 2025. And also, how soon do we see Spencer Rattler switched out for rookie Tyler Shugg, who actually, believe it or not, Tyler Shugg is older than Spencer Rattler.
Oh, man.
Fun fact. So that's my outlook for the NFC South. Over to you, Dustin.
All right. The NFC South. This is where we differ a little bit, Ryan. This is probably my spiciest take.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Atlanta. They take this division this year. This is the year they do it. I like Michael Penix. I think he figures it out. I think he really does start to figure it out. And I think a real offensive coordinator will effectively use their weapons. Yes, I did just, insult you, Arthur Smith. But I think Bijan goes off. He was good last year. He was very good. He did tail off a little bit. But I think the second year of Raheem Morris, he starts to figure this out. I think that Drake London is going to have a better season. We may get a couple of Kyle Pitts sightings, but I've learned not to trust in that. I will not trust in this, but defensively, I think Raheem Morris shores this unit up enough and they improve enough. They take this division. Why do you ask? Because I have Tampa Bay finishing at number 2. This is no shame to Baker Mayfield. I still love what he's doing. I know there's the rookie wide receiver that everybody's very high on there. But here's the thing. I think Baker regresses a bit, as will Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving took the NFL by storm when he came in, and he took the job from Rachaad White. They still have Rachaad White, but I think Bucky Irving, he doesn't quite set the world on fire like he did last year. Mike Evans will finally start to show his age and regress a little bit, and Chris Godwin will not return until week 5 or 6. I said the other night on Seahawks Sessions, week 9, I was way off about that, but I knew he was still recovering from injury. It's week 5 or 6 at the earliest that Chris Godwin returns. That's a lot of time without a star number 2/1A. Number 3, I have Carolina. Will Bryce Young build on last year's success at the end of the season? I think so, but I think the Thielen trade hurts him a little more than you know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what Hunter Renfrow can do, and also the rookie receiver that you mentioned that everybody's very high on in Carolina. I think they continue to build, but I think they're still on the outside. Number 4, New Orleans. Geez, what can you say? This league is a QB-driven league. They don't really have one right now. They still have some talent. They have Alvin Kamara. They have Chris Olave, but their QB situation is possibly the worst in the NFL. It will be a long year for New Orleans. I'm sorry, Saints fans.
And the wide receiver you're looking for at Tampa Bay is Emeka Egbuka from Ohio. I'm not going to. No, wait. No, I'm not going to say it. From Ohio State. I'm not saying the Ohio State. Screw you guys. Hate Ohio State. All right. Last division. We'll get to your comments, then we'll go over our predictions for playoff teams. NFC West. To my co-host who knows this division the best. 5 minutes are on the clock. Let's go.
Well, I don't know if I know it the best, but it is the home of my beloved Seahawks. Okay. So at number 1, I still have the LA Rams. Now, I understand a lot of this is contingent on the health of Matthew Stafford's back. But if his back is good, he's still the best quarterback in this division. I will never underestimate Sean McVay again. I've done it. I've done it in years past. I've underestimated the Rams. And when they've lost some talent and they've turned around and been better, So I will never underestimate a Sean McVay coach team again. Their defense surprised many last year. They will not surprise people this year the way they did last year, but they will still be good. They still have Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, and I like the Devontae Adams addition. I think he will be a comparable number 2 there because Puka Nacua is the unquestioned number 1 now. Number 2, this is where some people are going to think I'm crazy. You can call me a homer if you want, but the Seahawks
are the button ready. The button
yes,
ready. There it is. Homer alert.
Call me a homer if you want, but the Seahawks are zigging instead of zagging again. They will emphasize the run when a lot of this league is turning its entire focus to the pass. The Seahawks are going to go the other direction. And I know it's preseason, okay? I know it's preseason, but if it works the way it did in the preseason, their offense will shock people. They were running all over people in the preseason. The offensive line finally looks good. Hopefully, if everyone stays healthy, I'm looking at you, Abe Lucas and Charles Cross. If everyone stays healthy, they can finally have some continuity on the offensive line. I love the way Gray Zabel has played in the preseason. Hopefully, he keeps it up in the regular season. And I think if Cooper Kupp is healthy, JSN will leap again and continue his development, and Cooper Kupp will be an amazing number 2 and security option for Sam Darnold. They are protecting Sam Darnold. This defense is the real deal. Mike McDonald's building something here. Number 3, San Francisco. This is where I have San Fran going. They will not be as bad as they were last year. They were bit by the injury bug, and there was a little bit of chaos in San Fran. Brock will be good, but they have lost key wide receivers. Will Ricky Pearsall be able to step up? Will Christian McCaffrey be healthy? It's the last couple of years, it hasn't worked out for him. He's still dynamic when he's on the field, but that's the key phrase when he's on the field. San Francisco 49er running backs get injured. Their history with this is not good. Look it up. They deal with injuries at the position every year. It's why they went out and got Brian Robinson Jr. Arizona finishes last. They will be a tough out, though. Much like Pete's Raiders in the AFC West, I think in the NFC West, Jonathan Gannon's a good coach. I'll keep saying it because I truly believe it. Marvin Harrison needs to have a bigger role. Figure out how to get the ball to him this year, Kyler. Kyler will look good at points. He will occasionally be brilliant, but he'll also do some boneheaded things like say it's not his job to get his number 1 wide receiver the ball. It is your job, Kyler. It's exactly your job. James Conner will still be great at running back. Although he's not like a flashy pick, he is a workhorse. Arizona will be a tough out, but they still finish last in this division for me.
All right, I'll move quickly to my predictions. NFC West, this division runs through LA. Rams are healthy on both sides of the ball, but their success is going to rely on the health of Matthew Stafford. If Matthew Stafford's not healthy, your hope relies on, and so help me God, I'm not making this up, handsome Jimmy G.
Jimmy GQ.
Jimmy GQ. But I think they have all the horses to win this division. I've got the 49ers finishing in second place. They return to full strength to get the easiest schedule in 2025. They need some bodies in receiver. They have no bodies at receiver. But regardless, Brock Purdy's here to stay and has not only one, but also not just one, but 2 reliable running backs in Christian McCaffrey and Brian Robinson Jr. I have Seattle finishing in third place very closely. Second season from the Mike McDonald era with the new team and Sam Darnold. I think they could contend for the division. I think they could contend for a wild card, if not contend for the division. But their success relies on if Sam Darnold is the same Sam Darnold who played in Minnesota last season, minus the last 2 games of the season in Detroit and at Los Angeles, by proxy Arizona. So speaking of Arizona, I've got them in last place. Some critics, some pundits are saying that the Cardinals are the dark horse of this division. Others say they're going to finish last. This is a tough division. And they're going to finish last. And regardless of the fact that the Cardinals made some splashes on defense and free agency and the draft, they pick up Josh Sweat from Philadelphia. They bring in veteran Calais Campbell, the interior, and they drafted Walter Nolan. But I have to wonder if this is the last ride for one Kyler Murray. Is he the long-term answer at quarterback for the Cardinals? Because 1 minute you see him scramble around and throw a long touchdown. The next minute you see him to throw in the triple coverage and it's intercepted.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is no in between. He's the Vernon Adams Jr. of the NFL. And if you don't know who Vernon Adams Jr. is, look him up. he's the CFL guy. All right, let's get into some comments here before we go on to our playoff picks. Mr. Cruz from the BS podcast saying the Rams fans hates this logic, Dustin. They can't stand Jared Goff being good. No, they can't. They're bitter. Hey, you got the Super Bowl ring, didn't you, Rams fan?
You did. Yeah.
Yeah. Julie saying Lions are they're ready to bite some kneecaps. She also says that Jordan Love can throw all the interceptions he wants against the Lions. And I mentioned that Julie's going to hate me for my prediction. She does hate me right now. And Dustin, your new favorite host.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. Dan saying, I feel like Packers fan drinks cow milk, mixed with Miller Lite, and eat cheese curds. Yeah, their blood type is cottage cheese. Wonko saying Ryan's not related to JJ McCarthy. I'm out. Bears, so they thought they were. Shout out to the late Dennis Green. Absolutely. Not even Jim McMahon. No relation to Vince. No chance in hell. He throws for 4,000 yards.
I can't do it. I can't do
it. Dan saying, I was debating with myself between Tampa and Carolina and Tampa. I'm on the Panthers train too. I've had them finishing second, but I also have them contending for a wild card spot in this division. Kyle Pitts needs to go to the moon. How Mickey Loomis is still employed, I have zero clue. Blackmail.
Yes.
Although the Saints did hire Thomas Dimitroff as a consultant recently. In other words, he's coming for his job. Desi saying she's on the Panthers bandwagon. Good for her. No, Wonko, I won't repeat that. Julie saying you've mildly redeemed yourself with the Ohio State hate, but she's still mad at me.
Yeah.
Mr. Cruz saying the Rams did nothing besides add Devontae Adams. That's it. Seattle redid their entire offense and added to their defense. Does he saying that she has the Seahawks maybe winning the NFC West this year?
I like the way you think, Desi.
They open up the wishbone with four tight ends and 2 running backs, including an old school fullback.
They do have 2 fullbacks on the roster. And I'm telling you, I'm going to open a bag of Oots chips this year every time he runs the ball.
Oots. Dan says, let's talk about the elephant in the room. San Francisco is also hosting the Super Bowl this year. Santa Clara. There's a weird curse for teams hosting the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay won it in 2021 at their home turf. The Rams won it the next year at SoFi. I'm not sure what this curse is, but I mentioned Jimmy G. I have permission to play the sound.
Do you have it?
I got it. Oh, man. Cornstar Jimmy.
Yeah.
And Wonko wrapping it up the division talk. 49ers will be out. Will be without half of last year's starting defense week 1 versus Seattle. They might be bad even without an injury-plagued year. Go Hawks!
Here we go.
Homer alert. Yeah, I think Brandon Ayuk is out till week 6.
Yeah, and I misspoke earlier. It happens when you're going fast. Washington did not acquire Ayuk. They acquired Debo.
Debo!
Sorry about that, everybody. And also earlier, I called Jonathan Taylor James Taylor.
I missed that.
he sees fire and rain.
He's seen fire and he's seen rain. He's seen Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to our division. Our playoff teams. and we're gonna start with. We're gonna go with our division winners. We mentioned them already, but just to review, I've got Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, and the Chargers winning their respective divisions. At wild card, I've got Kansas City, Denver, and Cincinnati. Dustin, your division winners in wild card in the AFC.
Okay, for the AFC division winners, I have the Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs. For the AFC wild card, I have the Bengals, Broncos, Chargers.
Yeah, so we've got pretty much all the same teams,
Yeah.
just in different orders.
Yep.
NFC division winners, I've got the Eagles, the Packers, the Buccaneers, and the Rams. My wild card teams are the Command Skins, the Commanders. I call them the Command Skins, 49ers, and the Detroit Lions. Dustin.
All right. So for me, my NFC division winners are as follows: the Eagles, the Lions, the Falcons, the Rams. The NFC wild card is Packers, Commanders, and my beloved Seattle Seahawks.
All right. So who do you have in the AFC and NFC championship games?
All right. AFC championship game, I have Baltimore versus Kansas City. And in the NFC championship game, I have Philadelphia versus Detroit.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, this is where it starts to get tough.
This is where it gets really, I wouldn't say chalk, but I don't know anyway, I've got the same. I have the same. I have Baltimore, Kansas City in the AFC, and I have Philadelphia and Detroit in the NFC. But what about your representatives in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara?
All right. For Super Bowl 60, I have Baltimore versus Philadelphia.
Shit. Me too. But who is your Super Bowl winner? Who will be holding the Vince Lombardi Trophy at approximately 10 o'clock Eastern time on February 8th, 2026 in Santa Clara, California, with the confetti going everywhere? Who's going to be saying, I'm going to Disney World?
All right. Well, if you saw our baseball preview show, you know how this worked out. So I'm sorry to do it again, but I think it'll be Baltimore. I think Baltimore edges out Philly.
You're going to curse that city.
I'm trying not to.
I've got the Philadelphia Eagles repeating.
Okay.
I think the dynasty is going to happen. I think the dynasty is ready to roll in Philadelphia. This is something that Philadelphia Eagles will be it will be more. They'll be more obnoxious than they already are. No offense to a friend of the show, Jared from the Corner Booth podcast, and other Eagles fans I know, but they're already obnoxious already, but they'll even be more so because this will be their third title. Actually, this might be a dynasty because 3 titles in 10 years does constitute a dynasty. So let's look at the Super Bowl winners. And I think they won in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check real quick.
Yeah, and they had that full Super Bowl too. I'm trying
2018. So yes, this will be this, and yeah, if they win, this will be 3 titles in the span of 10 years. This will officially be a dynasty, but with two different quarterbacks and 2 different head coaches. And don't forget, Nick Sirianni was public enemy number 1 after that horrible game they had against Cleveland. Even though they won that game against Cleveland last year, he's their head coach. He's their head coach for better or for worse, Eagles fans. So, like I said, this is the year they officially become a dynasty. I believe it's going to happen this year. So,
over under the amount of time Sirianni exchanges barbs with the fan, I'm putting it at 2.
I'm putting the spread at 2.5.
Okay, all right.
You have it at just under.
Yeah.
I got the spread, but I'm not going to say what my my feeling about it is. Desi saying we're going to get a Jets Seahawks Super Bowl in my lifetime. I hope so.
That would be something.
It'll be fascinating if Sam Darnold if he plays the Jets in the Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons, that for over the length of his contract is in Seattle, and Justin Fields get there, whoever the quarterback is with the Jets will be at that time. And Dan Cruz saying, I am all for it. Wonko with a bold pick. He says, Philly sweeps Washington in the regular season. Washington tops Philly in the playoffs. Hard to beat a good division rival 3 times. That's true, because the Commanders and the Eagles did split last year. Mm-hmm. Washington had that huge comeback late in the regular season, but unfortunately they couldn't hold on. They got absolutely curb stomped in the NFC Championship against the Eagles. So
yeah.
So
that comeback was great for my fantasy team and took me to the title that year.
Oh man. Well, we're gonna get out of here. We're going to we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back on Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about the Thursday game. We'll be talking about the first Friday game. And for those of you who are wondering, because the first Friday game is on YouTube this year, if you're wondering, if you're a YouTube premium subscriber, you get the game. You absolutely get the game.
Oh man, okay.
Oh, Dustin just put in the chat, favorite number 62, because yes, this is episode number 62 of No Credentials Required for 2025. I don't have one at the top of my head. If you have one, Dustin, go ahead.
All right, I'll give 2 since you didn't have one. We're gonna pick as a collective unit for No Credentials Required. And sorry, I threw you under, I threw you to the wolves there. But I'm picking Jason Kelce for the Philadelphia Eagles. Make the Eagles fans happy, okay? He's a great number 62. And then I'm going back in the way back machine. This is a homer pick, but one Jabba Chamberlain wore number 62 for the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Indians at the time, and the Royals for 1 year. He played longer than people realize. He played for 10 years. 10 years, but I think the Yankees messed him up. I think they should have kept him as a setup man. And he was elite 1 year as the setup man behind Rivera. They should have kept him as the closer. I know he had some bumps in the road, but he had the tantalizing stuff. All these teams wanted to mess around and put him as a starter, and I think it hurt him. I think they should have just kept him in the one role because he did have dynamic stuff, Ryan. He was fun to watch while it lasted.
Well, the dude had mass, and in the words of friend of the show, Dallas Braden, mass equals gas. That dude threw gas. But yes, thank you, Dustin, for filling in number 62. Yes, absolutely. Jason Kelce and Jabba Chamberlain. But we're going to get out of here. We'll be back on Saturday morning for our hold on. It's not Saturday brunch anymore. It's just NFL coverage straight on until February. The Saturday brunch edition will be back sometime in March. Oh, Desi saying her favorite number 62, Terrence Cody, nose tackle for the Crimson Tide and key player for the 2009 championship, nicknamed Mount Cody.
Okay.
Hey, all right. But again, gonna keep going. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. We're gonna review the third. We're gonna. This is the format for the rest of the season, for the rest of the year, for the NFL season. We're going to on Saturdays. We're going to review the Thursday games. We're going to just do a quick review of those games. Since it'll be a game on Thursday and on Friday, we're going to also review Friday's games. If you're on YouTube if you have YouTube Premium, you do get the game. So if I have YouTube Premium, so I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch this game all the way from Corinthians Stadium in Rio, Chargers and Chiefs. So that should be interesting. Hopefully, it's not a repeat of last year where they're wearing football cleats on a soccer pitch. Hopefully they fix that. But Saturdays we'll be talking about Thursday games. We'll also be previewing Sunday's games into Monday. And also on Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern is Total Football Talk, the first 2025 edition of Total Football Talk Extra. Awesome. Me and Drew Willie at 3 o'clock Eastern. We'll doing a Saturday edition again. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you again for tuning in to No Credentials Required, whether you're listening on the podcast side or whether you're watching on replay on Belly Up Sports YouTube channel, whether you're watching live. We appreciate you stopping by. no credentials required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. For Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. We'll be back Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, talking all things NFL. So until then, have a great week. Football season's here, folks. Regular season's here. Let's get into it.
Get ready. And good night, everybody.